And our next honoree is Tom Ray. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
What is your full name, Tom?
Thomas Archer Ray.
And Tom, when did you come into the industry?
In 1937, in the spring of 1937, at Leon Schlesinger's, through the courtesy of Tex Avery.
Oh. What did you do when you first got there?
I served as an apprentice in-betweener under in the in-between department.
And how long were you there?
Approximately 6 months, and then MGM opened a cartoon studio, and I applied and got a job at MGM on the Captain and the Kids.
And were you promoted, or?
Well, I stayed as an in-betweener for quite some time until I worked my way up to an assistant animator. And by the time I was given notice, greetings from the President to serve in the Armed Forces, I was a journeyman assistant working for Irvin Spence.
What other studios, briefly, did you work for?
After MGM, I worked at John Sutherland Studios, and then to UPA for about 9 months. And because I was the last one hired, I was the first one given notice, and luckily I found an opening at Warner Brothers in Burbank. And I stayed with Warner Brothers until almost 1962. And I worked with Bob McKimpson and Chuck Jones. And Chuck gave me the first opportunity to do direction, which I really enjoyed. And from there, we moved on back to MGM as sort of a subsidiary, doing the Tom and Jerry's, trying to continue the Tom and Jerry's, and remake some of the old Tom and Jerry's that had offensive blackface gags. And we tried to change them, and they lost their sense of humor. The minute that happened, the gag wasn't there anymore.
In the years, are you still working?
I'm working right now as a director at Marvel Productions in Van Nuys.
Is there any particular memories of the industry that are particularly fond that you may want to say something about in a few words?
Well, in a very few words, I'll say that I was always ambitious to be associated with the motion picture industry, and my first communication with it was when I was only 6 years old. My mother smuggled me aboard a location bus for Fox Studios and went on location in Victorville, where we stayed for 2 weeks, and I got a screen test, and I felt like I was part of the industry. That was in black and white, directed by John Ford.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't see that. I saw myself on the screen in 1928 in Fresno, California, at the Wilson Theater.
Oh, my God. Are you looking forward to the banquet tonight?
Oh, very much so. And while I was on the subject of motion pictures, Irvin Spence, the animator I was working with, wanted to make a motion picture in 16 millimeter, and together we produced a black and white burlesque of the gangster movie. We called it Rats and Spats. And Gus Areola of Gordo fame was the killer. And I was the hero's kid brother who was led astray with the gang, and I was killed by the killer. So I got a real dramatic death scene there. So I was typecast. Then the second film we made was in color. It was called Rugged Rangers, a burlesque of Northwest Passage. And we had a great time doing that, going on location on weekends. But I was typed, so I had to die again.
Well, we're running out of time, so we're going to have to die again.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope to see you tonight.
You don't want me to pass out, do you?